Hi class, so if you decided to use number analytics, this video is on for lab 1. This lab will be on using number analytics, which is a free web-based program. For all of you who are watching, who are planning to use number analytics, I highly recommend watching my video on for lab 1 in SPSS because there are sort of more features in SPSS, and to know just learning about sort of what I give some sort of review for the exam in SPSS, whereas here I can't do as much, and so I'm much more limited. So please watch the video, even though you're not doing the lab in SPSS. I highly recommend watching that video for lab 1 in SPSS because it will be very helpful. Okay, so let's begin. After you make your account in Number Analytics, you can upload the data into your account for lab 1. And let me show you how to do it. So you just have to press upload and then choose files. And I saved this, so it's just gonna reopen it. But I saved it I already uploaded it, but I saved it as lab1.sav. And what this is an SPSS data set. And that's able to be uploaded into Number Analytics. So let me just get out of this because I already uploaded it. So you can take a look at the data. There's no preview, so I'm going to press open. And so this is what it looks like. So we have exam score. And so these are scores for students. And it looks like there's 16 students. And then these are their scores in that exam. And this highest score on the exam that was possible was a 10, and the lowest score was a 0. But so for right now, the highest score that was received on this exam was a 9. So we have 2 9s, 6, 7 8s, 2 7s, 1 6, 2 5s, and 2 0s. So what I wanted to do for this lab is to show you a histogram and then also run descriptive statistics on our histogram. So what I'm going to do first, and a histogram is, again, just a visualization of a frequency table. So it's just going to show us what a frequency table, sorry, I'm distracted. So it's just going to show us the number of observations per score in a bar graph, essentially. So just go to graph and then press histogram. And then since there's only one variable, press exam score. Then you just have to press run. Okay, there we go. So now it shows us not only the histogram, but it also shows us summary statistics. So let's start with the histogram. In SPSS, there are way more options. So we can change the how to. So remember we talked about uh, the different levels, how the width of the level, but in this program, we're only stuck with whatever is automated for us. So it looks like they split it by 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and then 8 to 10. So this is probably the 2 9s, right? Oh, see, I wish I could see my data at the same time. And then remember how I said there were 7 8s. They're probably showing up in this category. 7 8s. There was 1 6, so it's probably in here too. I believe there were 2 5s and then 2 0s, so then it's here. So across this x-axis is showing the score, what score each individual got, and then the frequency that falls within that range. Okay? Then we have our summary statistics. So obs is number of observations or our sample size, so that's n. This is the mean. So it has 6.5 as the mean, which I believe is actually different from what I calculated in SPSS. But let's check that. Let's see. Yeah, that's different. I wonder why that might be off. Okay, so don't worry about this, but for some reason it's saying the mean is 6.5, and then the standard deviation is 2.805. The median is 8. So remember, we learned about median, and then the minimum and the maximum. So think about what is our range. So we learned about that in class. What's our range? Yeah, so our range is our highest score, which is the max, minus the lowest score. So it's 9 minus 0. So our range would be 9. Okay, so that is actually, I don't know what happens when I press. Oh, okay. So you can download the files. I'm going to copy this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a Microsoft Word or text file or something. So I use Microsoft Word, which is available through LA Valley College. And what I'm going to do is paste my table. And then I downloaded it. I don't know what that did. Oh, okay. I downloaded it as a, let's see what happens. I downloaded, okay, so it downloaded it as an image. Let me see. So, okay, my image of the histogram, when I pressed download, just downloaded it as a image, and so I just dragged that file and placed it into Word. Another way maybe is to, because on the lab you can upload multiple documents, you can also upload these things separately. I mean, I would prefer just one document so I don't have to keep opening documents. So try to get it all into one document, but if you can't figure it out, it's completely fine. Just upload the multiple documents, but I prefer everything in one document like this. So this is your output. So for the labs, and this is going to be consistent throughout the semester, we are going to save our output. So I'll just save this as the analytics lab 1 output. So I have folders for all the labs, and just save it there. And then what I want in a separate document, let me see if I can copy this. Okay, so you can also right click and save image to downloads, or maybe if we copy image. No, that's not the right. I guess it doesn't work. Yeah, you have to, yeah, you have to download it. So you have to go through this process for this graph. Okay. So what's required for the lab is your output as well as a write-up. So what the write-up looks like is, I just had it. So this is the write-up. And what I really want to emphasize is I am providing these I have two examples on this slide. I am providing this, but I need you to write everything in your own words. So if you just simply copy and paste this, I am automatically going to give you a 0 for the lab, because even with the output and everything. So, and you don't want a 0 out of 20 points. And I really hate doing that, but you can't just copy and paste this output. Um, so, so I'll go through this. This is in APA format. So we're learning about APA format because that's the typical way to report your findings. Okay, so quiz score data were collected from a small sample. Um, italicized n equals 16, so number n is sample size, and so we had 16 data points, right? So let me go back to our data and view it. So remember how we had 16 data points. There were 10 points possible on the quiz. I told you guys that, but you know, you don't need to have this sentence in there. Then scores range from 0 to 9, so that's the range, right? We went through that. You have that output. Sorry. Okay, so our range, the minimum score and the maximum score. Then M, or the mean or the average, which is italicized, equals 6.25. So what you would do is write 6.5, right? Oops. I don't know why for this program it's showing up as 6.5, but I believe it should be 6.25. But, you know, report out what your output gave you. That's why you shouldn't copy and paste this slide, right? And then SD, or standard deviation, equals 3.02, which in here is 2.805. So report that out. So this is the first example. This is the second example. So the sample scores range widely on the 10-point quiz. Range equal to 9. So you notice it's different. Whereas over here they said scores range from 0 to 9. Though the mean score was somewhat low, so italicized M, so I'm emphasizing that M needs to be italicized, equals 6.25. The most common score was an 8, right? So 8 had, oh, sorry, that is not the, so 8 had 7 participants had an 8, right? And which was earned by nearly 44% of the sample. Okay, so those are the two examples. So write it up in your own words. Include your output as in the not in the write-up, but as a separate document. And this is all due by next Tuesday. So please send me an email if you have any questions. But I think with the example, it helps a lot. And if you have technical difficulties, please, please, please try to email me before Monday night, because I go to sleep a little early and I'm going to miss your email. So even though this lab is due Tuesday at 12 a.m., try to do this, you know, earlier, have a few days so I have time to be able to help you. Okay, so good luck.